All right. What I've done here is the center channel speaker assembly. I've kind of fabricated it in a way to accept this Infinity. I have a Infinity 3002 CFX here. I actually was going to get the Infinity. I ordered the Infinity 3032 CF center speaker because it's a 2 ohm speaker, and I ordered that from Sonic Electronics, and they sent me this speaker. I called and asked them what the deal was, and they said that they actually no longer carry the 3032 CF. Neither did Crutchfield or anyone else, and I couldn't find it anywhere online. So I assume that that speaker is discontinued at this point. Anyway, I went ahead and kept this one because this is a 3 ohm speaker, and it says right here on the back, impedance 3 ohms. I don't know if I can get focused on that. Anyway, it's 3 ohms. There it is. Impedance 3 ohms, 75 watts. And on the specifications for the speaker, it says RMS rated for really 5 to 50 watts. So even 5 watts will push this. So if 20s go into the original factory, and here's the factory. If 20s go into the original factory, you know, probably 10 will go to this. I really don't know the exact watts that will go to it, but I'm assuming it'll push it fine. Anyway, what I've done is for this piece right here, these 2 screws, bam, bam, go in these spaces right here, which connect it to these housings, to this housing for the center, what's called the center lid. Okay, so what I had to do was I kind of had to fabricate it to fit this Infinity. I didn't have to manipulate the grill at all. The grill itself stayed exactly the same. I didn't have to cut it in any way, which was great. If you notice here, I put 2 spacers between the speaker and the lip that it sits on to screw in order to give this woofer, let me see if I can get focused on this. You can see there the woofer, the space between the lip and the woofer. And obviously the woofer is going to have a little bit of excursion when it's playing through the car. Not much excursion on a 3.5-inch speaker, and that's why I gave such a tiny, minuscule gap there. But those 2 spacers were perfect for just that minuscule gap between that lid and the woofer itself. And then they just screwed right in. So that went really well. It went perfect. The only thing I did have to do on the speaker itself, sorry, I'm just trying to, there we go. On the speaker itself, where that screw is in, let me get something to point with. Where that screw is in, oh, my mind. I shouldn't have got something metal to point with. Hold on a second. Sorry. Where that screws in there, this lip, or this little circle here where the screw goes in, was not long enough. It wouldn't fit both of them. In other words, one screw hole was covered up when you put the speaker on there. So what I did was I took a drill bit and drilled this hole out a little larger. I should have showed you that earlier, but I just drilled that out a little larger. And then I actually did that to both sides. So to this one and to this one. And obviously that's underneath the screw now, so you can't really see that. But I drilled those out just a little bit. It didn't take much. I just used a plug-in power drill. So it had lots of power. And I got a hard steel bit. So a bit for drilling through hard steel. So I knew it would be plenty strong enough. Put it in there, and then just kind of did a back and forth, up and down motion to drill that hole out a little larger. And what I did was I brought it almost all the way up to this rim, to the rim of this speaker. And that way both screws could get in with the spacers underneath them, and ended up with this result. And that's a completely untouched factory piece with the new 3.5 speaker on there. And just for FYI, I know I mentioned the screws in the last video I was using for the 6.5 speaker. These screws are actually the 6 1/2. 6 1/2 screws. Let me show you those. That's these right here, the 6 1/2. Pan Phillips zinc, blah blah blah. Anyway, so that's what I did for that. I'm going to install it, see how it sounds. I'm hoping this will give me a lot better sound. Obviously, I put another adapter. The adapter on the original speaker is actually built onto the speaker itself. So if you look at this right here, there it is right there. That's the original speaker. You can see the 15 watts, 2 ohms. So I assume 15 watts goes to the speaker. If it is 15 watts, I'm sure I'll probably get 10 watts out of there, depending on the settings I have on my radio. But you see, there's the original spot for the speaker wire connection, and I just did another one of my adapters, and it'll just plug right in. So I'm going to plug this in, get it going. Thanks for watching.